Okay, this is a first in a series of the top books I have read in 2024. I average a book a day. I DNF books that I don't like. These are going to be my top favorites. First is The Split by Kit Frick. This story is about two sisters, Jane and Esme. One rainy, stormy night, Jane gets a phone call from her sister Esme asking her to please come pick her up because she has left her husband and she needs her sister to come pick her up and let her stay with her. Well, Jane is reluctant to do this because she was the one driving when they were involved in a car accident as teenagers. And so she's very nervous about getting on the highway and possibly getting in a wreck again. So she has a decision to make. Is she going to go pick her sister up, or is she going to just tell her sister, I can't do it? The fun thing about this book, and one of the reasons it is one of my top rated stories for this year, was it has a dual timeline, very unique. Now, it is not confusing because each chapter is very clearly labeled so that you can see which timeline you're reading. It alternates back and forth between she does go and pick her sister up and what happens as a result, how their lives turn out as a result of that, or she refuses to go pick her sister up and how their lives turn out as a result of that and what leads to that decision. So it really makes you think, like, the choices in life you make, even though they might not seem to be very big choices, can have life-altering consequences. So the whole time, it's just riveting. I cannot tell you enough. You have to read this book. This is why it is on my top list for 2024. It is just very good. There's surprises all along the way. I was on the edge of my seat. Book number 2 that I recommend, Two Dead Wives by Adele Parks. This was my first book by her. I had never read her books before. It turns out Goodreads calls it the second in a series. I was not aware of that when I started reading it. However, it is fine as a standalone book. I read it just fine without having read the prior book. In this story, the protagonist has a shocking secret. And she is missing, and her 2 husbands, yes, that's right, 2 husbands are suspects. It just gets more interesting from there. I can tell you, she had me hooked that her 2 husbands are suspects. Stacy Jones, meanwhile, is living a quiet life in a little village. Her father is taking care of her because she has an illness and she's trying to recover from that. He keeps her sheltered from the news of the outside world. He doesn't want anything to upset her. Somehow their lives are linked. How is that? What is going on? And where is the missing woman? And who is responsible? I'm telling you, it's a unique storyline. I have never read anything quite like it. This, again, is what gets it on my top favorites of 2024 list. The characters are interesting, but they are flawed. The protagonist, though she is flawed, you find yourself rooting for her because she is a likable person. So I don't mind a flawed protagonist if they're likable, and she is definitely likable. It was a very compelling story, had me on the edge of my seat. Okay, so book number 3 is another author that was new to me. I had never read her before, Jacqueline Goldis. The book is The Main Character. I get a lot of my books from the library. If I bought all the books that I read, I would be bankrupt. Shout out to my awesome librarian, Catherine. I always love her book recommendations. The story is about a reclusive author, Genevra. She is famous for her best-selling thrillers. She does something very unique. She hires people, she interviews them extensively about their lives, and then she fictionalizes it into a thriller. Well, her latest main character, Rory, is absolutely thrilled to be picked for a lavish trip through Italy on this luxury train, the Orient Express. On this trip, though, confusing things start to happen, and Rory begins to be afraid that someone is going to end up being the next victim in Ginevra's latest thriller. It is full of exciting twists. It kind of reminds me of a locked room mystery because you've got all these people on a train, you know, they can't go anywhere, but things are happening to people, and you're like, who's doing this? What's going on? Like, it is so good. I loved it. It is just very exciting. So, that is book number 3 I recommend. I read also by her The Chateau, which is just another delightful setting, I think, set in France. It's full of deceit, revenge, and jealousy, just twist after shocking twist. Lady Seraphine lives in this beautiful chateau in France, and she invites her granddaughter Darcy and her 3 friends to come and visit her. And she reveals to them that there is a secret that she needs to tell them. But before she can do that, she is found stabbed to death in her bedroom. So, of course, they all start suspecting each other, accusing each other. There's a lot of drama. In the middle of all of this, a threatening Instagram account pops up and starts threatening the girls, and they're all like accusing each other. It is so, so good. So much drama in this one. This is what puts it on my top list for 2024 is the ending. It ends on a cliffhanger. I am telling you, I was speechless, and I just wanted to talk to somebody about it when I got done. I was like, I must talk to somebody about this cliffhanger. Like, I want another book. So I would love to know if you read it, what you thought about the cliffhanger ending. So comment below, or go over to the community tab and comment. I would love to know what you thought about it, because that just blew me away. Most books don't end on a cliffhanger like this. Trust me, you will love this book. And be on the lookout. Stay tuned for more of my top books in 2024.